If someone were to ask you, what is speed? Style, refinement. A symphony in motion. Okay, the Drake Cutlass Black is none of that. To be honest, it's unapologetically none of that. And let's face it, it doesn't need to be. Because at the end of the day, you just need to get the job done. You'll find a Cutlass or its variants almost anywhere in the galaxy. Chances are, you probably will own one at one time or another, and that's what makes this an icon. Join me as we take a look at what makes this beast worth having. The Cutlass was Drake Interplanetary's first ship. Originally pitched as a next versatile fighter, it was rejected by the UEE military. But Drake didn't stop there. They knew they had something special here. A versatile fighter that could be cheaply mass-produced. It may not have been what the Navy wanted, but it was exactly what the people needed. Especially those forgotten in high-risk regions and lawless space. The redesigned Cutlass for civilians would find its audience from local militias. They could use the variable fighter to defend territories from pirates and also transport goods. The success of the Cutlass would vault Drake to the 5th largest spacecraft manufacturer in just 5 years. This didn't come without some controversy, as Drake would be accused of crime affiliations due to who was buying these units. Some of the groups Drake was marketing the Cutlass to defend you from would also be interested in a low maintenance and disposable fighter.
You come across a couple of pirates.
So far, nothing is stuck in the courts. Either way, Jan Dredge and her rogue company gave us a ship people want. What can I say? You're either gonna love or hate the way this ship looks, but it's 100% Cutlass. What's always grabbed me about this ship first are the huge thrusters on the back. They give a sense of raw, untamed power. You can just imagine how it's going to propel you, and it does, with fierce velocity for a medium ship. In addition to that, these are VTOL thrusters that help you maneuver efficiently in atmosphere. What it lacks in beauty, it makes up in utility. These thrusters are strapped to a chassis that gets more narrow as you reach the cockpit. And up front, you have these rather odd wings that give it an insect-like appearance. Maybe this could have been the Mantis before the Mantis came along. Attached to those wings are what appear to be arms of some kind. I'm not sure what they're used for. If you know, drop me a comment below. On my 5-point scale, I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5. Let's face it, this ship is very Spartan on the inside. You get the sense Drake kept the cost down by giving us a no-frills interior. The unfinished walls help us to understand how these can be mass-produced so fast. It looks like there's just enough insulation to keep you warm in the cold of space, and there's a plethora of hoses and exposed cabling. Let's take a tour, starting with the cockpit. There's a pilot and co-pilot seat. The pilot gets a healthy 7 MFD displays, and his seating orientation reminds me of a helicopter. The co-pilot gets 4. These seats are not built for luxury in any sense, but they look adorable. You get a panoramic view of the cockpit, despite these being obstructed by structural supports and MFDs when you're flying. Also unique to the Cutlass are seats that raise into the cockpit to give you a better view. And the co-pilot's seat is raised higher than the pilot's for an unobstructed view. A very smart design from the Drake engineers. Stepping down into the living quarters, you may notice it's triangular in shape. The crew has 4 weapons lockers for carrying gear. There's a modest 2-person bunk for sleeping. It does not appear to be built for comfort. No apparent area for food preparation, and no bathroom is a big problem for me. Good to know your R&R stations. Right next to the bunk, where you might expect the bathroom, is the seat for the turret. Next to that is the airlock door. You may want to pick up some decorations for this cabin. Moving along through the airlock to the cargo bay, here's where the Cutlass gets down to business. You've got not 1, but 2 side doors. So your Cutlass can act as a dropship. This cargo bay is spacious, and a big upgrade over your typical starter ships. Another nice feature back here are the 6 folding chairs that can hold troops or passengers of some sort you may need to transport. It's not much to look at, so I'm going to have to take some points away, but it's not a bad multi-crew ship at all. And hard to find this kind of versatility. Giving the Cutlass a 3 out of 5 for interior for me. Utility is where the Cutlass shines. As I mentioned, the VTOL thrusters give you extra maneuverability that should lead to fuel savings in atmosphere. Something that's hard to find at this price point. On top of that, the Cutlass has a generous cargo hold capable of carrying 46 SEU of cargo. That's less than a Rebel Freelancer. But the Cutlass is able to carry larger sized vehicles due to the massive cargo door in the back. 3 landing legs I find gives you a variety of landing options, like whatever this tower is for. Anyway, it looks cool. Let's not forget you also get a turret, giving you a crew capable ship at a great price point. For utility, the Cutlass gets a 5 out of 5 due to its versatility. For combat capabilities, I like to consider a ship's offensive and defensive capabilities based on my time with them. And keep in mind, I'm more of a trader than a fighter pilot, so this is going to be mostly based on factory loadout and what I think your future potential to tune the craft are. That being said, Cutlass gives you a stock 2 CF-227 Badger laser repeaters, 2 Scorpion GT-215s, 6 missile racks, and 2 CF-336 Panther laser repeaters in the turret. Together, this makes a formidable offensive package. problem with the Cutlass for me in combat is those huge thrusters are easy targets. You'll find they get blown off often and will affect your flight performance. The front wings are also common combat liabilities. The stock shields are also underwhelming, and once they are depleted, the cheaply constructed hull is in trouble. I think this ship has tuning potential, but stock off the lot, it leaves something to be desired. The turret makes this an interesting multi-crew fighter, but the durability brings the score down to 3 out of 5. The Cutlass is raw and untamed. Truly a cold beast of machinery and Astro engineering. A muscle-carred heart with the utility of a minivan. Part combatant, part trader, very small part home. Rising from the ashes of rejection to changing the landscape of the galaxy forever. Hardly the ship you would imagine would hold so much importance in the verse. A Cutlass is special because we can all find a little of ourselves in them. We can make something out of them. And in the process, they give us our dream of a place of our own in the stars. And that's what makes this a legend. So regrettably, I have to give this ship a score. Loving something means accepting its flaws too. So our final score for the stock Cutlass is an 18 out of 25, giving it a C- rating on our scale. But when I'm done taking this to my favorite tuner, I guarantee mine will be a higher score. Hopefully you saw enough in this review to form your own opinion. Please feel free to share them below and let me know which ship you're interested in seeing us review next. As always, thanks for making it to the end of this video. If you enjoyed it, please give us a like and subscribe. For a channel as small as this one, it really helps. I'm Astro Nesto, and we'll see you next time.